All right, here we go. My name is Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 370 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast.
Good boy, my ass.
A while back, Tony gave me a Fitbit. I've talked about it. And, it was all right. It was interesting. I wore it for a while. I wore it round the clock for a while. And I got all kinds of, comments at work and, and others, mostly at work. They're like, what? Look at Jeff wearing a watch. It's like, I don't know. I think they're not rare. Watches are not rare. Well, look here, Jeff's wearing a watch. All these comments. I hate that kind of shit. It irritates me. I don't like if I wear a shirt and I get more than one comment about it, like if it's getting people's attention, if it's earning people's attention to the point where multiple people comment on it, I'll never wear it again. That'll never. I don't want any attention for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So everybody's like, "Well, I've never seen you wear a watch before." Like, I'll never wear this thing again. So I stopped wearing it to work. But I did like the sleeping stuff. I like the sleep information. So it would, and the next morning it gives you all kinds of data about the previous night's sleep. And every day it would say, you don't sleep, you're terrible, you're too, you're too fat to sleep in America. That's what, I don't know. They didn't say that didn't specifically say that. That's the way I interpreted it. You're too fat to sleep in America. I don't know what the America has to do with it, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I used to be able to sleep, and I used to make fun of people that said they can't sleep very well, and they can't sleep, and everything wakes them up, and they don't sleep. And I used to what a bunch of drama queens. God, just go to bed, lay your head on a pillow, and go to sleep. It's not complicated. Why do you have to make everything a drama? God, and I used to mock people just ruthlessly. Now here I am. I can't sleep worth a shit. I can't sleep. Every little sound wakes me up. I'm never deep asleep, So I'm fascinated by this information on this Fitbit, that it would give you all kinds of information. How many minutes you spent light sleep, and how many minutes in REM sleep, how many minutes in deep sleep, and how many minutes awake. You're shockingly a large amount of time awake. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I guess it is. I don't know. I think they have a pretty good reputation. So I like that part of it, but I'm not wearing it to work and getting a bunch of comments. Look at Jeff. Here comes Jeff with his watch. Like, what the hell? What are you commenting about this stupid thing? Never wore a watch in my life. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know, but I got more than one comment, so I had to shit can it. That's my rule. I had this pink shirt, had sailboats on it, these tiny little sailboats, and I like that shirt. It fit well, it fit me well, which is not easy. That's not easy. If you ever saw my torso in person, you'd understand what I'm saying. And but every time I wore it, somebody would comment on it, and so that's gone. But I have rules. I have rules of living, right? So anyway, I wore it. I kept it charged, even after I stopped wearing it to work. The watch, I kept it charged. Kept it on the nightstand, and when I'd go to bed, I would strap it on. I don't know, but yeah, put a strap on. I'd strap it on, and I would, wear it to sleep. And then the next morning, I'd get up, I'd go downstairs, I'd make a pot of coffee, or on rare occasions, there'd be a pot of coffee already there. Those are the beautiful days. When I go downstairs and there's already a hot pot of coffee sitting on the coffee maker. Oh, and I don't have to make it. Whoo, man, those are beautiful days, but that's rare. So I go downstairs and make the pot of coffee, go in there, and I pull up the app and see how terrible. It was just a terrible night's sleep again. I never get basically my score out of 100 is in the 70s generally, sometimes high 60s, in the fair category. Every once in a while, and it's rare. Usually it's on the weekends when I sleep late. I get into the 80s, into the good category. But that's rare. It hardly ever happens. It's usually in the fair category, sometimes poor. Just the other day I had a score of 58. 58, poor. Tony, on the other hand, she can sleep less than me, fewer hours, and have a much higher score. I'll sleep 7 hours and have a score of 64 or something, 65, and she'll sleep 5.5 hours and have an 89 or something. She often gets into the 90s. I have never in my life gotten. I think the highest I ever got was like 85 or 86. And that's happened like once or twice. So anyway, I found it interesting. I kept wearing the thing to bed. I'd wear it to bed just to get the sleep information because I found it fascinating. And it's terrible. I mean, I can't sleep very well. So it was just, it's interesting to see all this stuff. I'm thinking about going to the doctor. And maybe I'll end up having to wear a full face mask with some kind of a, kerosene-powered equipment running in the corner of the bedroom. I have to pull a ripcord on that thing before I go to bed, fire that bitch up, put a face mask on, and then maybe I can get into the 90s. However, I'm not wearing that watch anymore. You know why? Because that burned my skin. I'm not even kidding. I wear it on my left arm, left wrist. Tony, okay, a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, she was complaining that she said, I think this Fitbit, because she has one too, I think this Fitbit is like burning my skin. I said, what? I said, how could that happen? I mean, is there like, did the silver come off the back of it or something? She goes, no, everything's. I said, what the hell? I mean, she's really fair skinned and she's real susceptible to sunlight and sunburn, that kind of thing. Whereas I'm not, I'm not fair skinned. I don't have those issues. But I thought, I don't know, man. I know that sucks. So she started wearing it on the other wrist and eventually it started happening on that side. It's like, that's weird. So she did some research on it. It said that the things emit like a low level radioactivity. I said, I don't like the sounds of that shit, But I wouldn't have any trouble with mine, and I wanted to get that information, the sleep information. And so I kept wearing it, and it started happening to me. There was like a square burn mark. Like, I'm not kidding. It looked like I had a curling iron pressed against my wrist. And it was getting worse and worse. And it was like a welt almost, like not really a blister, but it was welled up. And it was square, like a postage stamp. And you could press on it, and it would turn white, because it was kind of swollen. And then when you pulled your finger away, it would go back to red. It was like red, and it was spreading out, and it was like real itchy. I'm like, what the hell? I'm getting Chernobyl up on this thing. It's like full Chernobyl on my wrist. I don't like that, So I was like, I started looking into it, and there's people on there on the internet talking about that a little bit, but it's like it happened to both of us. And these are Fitbits. These are not like some off-brand thing, some shit that you'd buy off Temu or whatever. These are actual Fitbit brand, and things are burning us up. Things are like firing out radiation into our wrists. I'm never wearing that again. I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore. Have you ever had any experience like that with that? Good Lord. That's crazy. It's gone away. It's pretty much gone away. After maybe a week of not wearing it, it's basically gone away. It's still real itchy though. It's getting better, but God, have you had any experience with that? What the heck, man? No way. I don't need radiation pumping right into my wrist. Anyway, last night we watched the season finale of Hell's Kitchen. We always watch those Gordon Ramsay shows. So the winner was this guy named Ryan. Hopefully, if you haven't watched it, hope haven't. But anyway, he's going to be he wins he's going to be the what do you call it? The head chef at Hell's Kitchen in Las Vegas. Tony and I actually went there. We've actually been to that Hell's Kitchen in Las Vegas. And there was a previous winner, this woman named Michelle. She won the same thing. It was years ago. It was before COVID. And when we were there, she was there. She was the head chef for several years. And I think she got laid off. It said she was furloughed during COVID. I don't know. They probably weren't allowed to even be open. I don't know what happened, but she doesn't work there anymore. But so this guy's going to go there. He's going to be the head chef. I was reading something that was really weird. That thing's been on. I mean, that thing was recorded or filmed 2 years ago. It was filmed in February of 2022. So this they've known that they won the thing, or they didn't win the thing, for 2 years. And Tony was reading about it. She said he gets a $250,000 a year salary to be the head chef there, and they give him $150,000 for winning immediately, and then he has to sign all these papers. All of them have to sign non-disclosure, statements and all this stuff. We're not allowed to say a word about it. But they can't. I mean, the guy can't work there. I mean, he can't go there and work because if somebody sees him in there, it'll be all over the internet. I mean, so he has to go work somewhere else. So he's free to work somewhere else until the show airs. And then, as soon as the show airs, he has to go work at Hell's Kitchen. And if he works 1 year at Hell's Kitchen, then he gets the other $100,000. That's the way it works. I didn't know that until yesterday. I didn't know that they filmed them so far in advance. That's crazy. But when we were there, we went for lunch. It's an expensive place, fancy pants, and it's at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. And we went there for lunch, and I just got a burger. I just got a cheeseburger and French fries. And ordered these beers. They have this beer made by Stone Brewing, which is a really good brewery out of San Diego. They have their own signature beer, like a craft beer. They make it just for Hell's Kitchen, and so we ordered one of both of us ordered one, and they brought it out in these weird tall thin glasses. They're way too tall, and they're real thin. And they're there's no center of gravity. The center of gravity's way off. Feels like the center of gravity's at the top because they're so tall. I'm when I see the woman bringing them over on the tray, I'm like, those things, I'm going to knock that shit over. I don't like that. I mean, this doesn't seem like a logical. At some point, cool and hip, being unusual and cool, transitions over into, not functional. And so she brought those things. I could see her walking with them on a tray. I don't know how many ounces they were. They seemed like they were huge. I mean, I don't know. It was real long, elongated glasses, and so she's bringing them. I'm like, oh God, and she comes over. She puts Tony's down in front of her, and then she spills the other one, mine, right into the chest of an old man. Some man sitting there with his wife, I guess. They're old. They're sitting there eating, and the thing tipped just as I imagined it would. Right into this chest of this old man is like just pooling up in the crotch of his pants. And the guy jumped to his feet. He didn't see this thing coming. He's just sitting there enjoying his lunch, and just like an enormous amount of beer is just dumped straight in his lap, right in the center of his chest, down into his lap. So he jumps to his feet, and he's like, oh my God, And the old woman just kept eating. She was just sitting there. She didn't even get up. She was like, shoveling food in her mouth. So the woman was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, look at those glasses. You're flirting with disaster with those things. Why are they shaped like that? Whose idea? These things might look cool in abstract, but you can't put liquids in those things and expect, and don't expect there's going to be some kind of tragedy. So I'm sure they got their meal for free. There's a whole bunch of people over there, encircling the guy. We're very sorry, sir. They're patting him down and stuff. We're very, very sorry. This is a fancy-ass place. So anyway, that was our experience there. The food was good. We just got the lunch stuff. If we went there at night when they were having like dinner, when they were having all those scallops and all that stuff, and the beef Wellingtons and stuff, probably would have cost us like, I don't know, $400 or $300 or something. No, we just went in there we just wanted to go there, So we had burgers. I don't know what Tony got. But I got a hamburger. It was good. It was really good. It was, you could tell it's high quality. And Michelle was there, who won that job, and then she got furloughed. So anyway, I watched that last night. It's a good show. We watch all the Gordon Ramsay shows. They're all pretty good. We like that Kitchen Nightmares. That's one of our favorites, where he goes into some restaurant and the place is going downhill and he's trying to turn it around. Those are fantastic. That, and I like Master Chef, and I like Hell's Kitchen, and he had one where he actually tried to turn around hotels. I don't know what kind of expertise he has in hotels, but anyway, we watched that last night. And I want to talk about something reminded me the other day about when I was early 20s. I think Tony and I were talking about this. We went whitewater rafting. Well, I went whitewater rafting with my then girlfriend. This is when I still lived in West Virginia. So my girlfriend Kelly and I, and my friend Rocky and his girlfriend, the four of us went whitewater rafting on the New River in West Virginia, which is called the New River, and I believe that it's actually the oldest river in the United States. I don't know why it's called the New River, but that's what it is. It's like it's a river in West Virginia. It's well known. A lot of people go there to do whitewater rafting. We went on. We chose this overnight thing. All right, so it was relatively expensive. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was overnight. So basically it was a 2-day trip. So we had to camp, right? And so me and Rocky and our girlfriends went on this thing. I don't know. I was probably like 20 or something, 21 at the most. Somewhere in that age, young. And so we went on this thing. I don't know how I even talked Rocky into going. He doesn't do shit like that, but he went. And we drove up there to this company, this tour company, and they introduced us to the two guys that was going to go with us. There's going to be 2 rafts. One's for our supplies, and one of the guys is going to be in that raft. And then one is going to be the 4 of us and another guide. So there was a total of 6 of us, 2 rafts, right? And they said they were showing us what they got. They had all this food. They had food. They were going to prepare dinner for us, and they had a 12-pack of beer, And Rocky said, 12-pack? Wait a minute, hang on a second. There's 6 of us. A 12-pack? They're like, oh, we're not going to drink. This will be for you guys. He goes, yeah, but there's still 4 of us. I said, he goes, that's not going to be enough. And he looked at me, and I'm like, he's right. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. They said, well, you can go. We got a half hour before we leave. If you guys want to go grab more, you feel free to. But we provide 12. So Rocky and I, we told the girls, we'll be right back, and they're like, oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. Just drink the 12. God. And they're like, bullshit. Rocky's like, bullshit. This is not. It's not going to be enough, So we found some convenience store, bought another 12-pack, I think, or I don't know, and we brought it back. And everybody's like already irritated with us. The guides are annoyed. The girls are embarrassed. So we have 24 beers. The 12 they provided and the 12 we purchased. We go and we have to carry all this equipment down to the river, and we have the rafts. We're like carrying them over our heads and stuff, and carrying them down to the river. And Rocky's just bitching. He's like, "What the hell's this? Paid all this money, I have to carry shit to the river." I said, "Just roll with it, man. God, this is fun." He goes, "It's not fun." He's just bitching and bitching and bitching. So we have everything set up, and the guys are out. They're out there doing their shtick. The guides telling these big stories about how to protect yourself on this treacherous trip. You have to, you have to. Well, basically, he told this story about how you had to sacrifice yourself to the river gods for protection on this trip. Because some of these rapids that we're going to go through are like big time. We didn't go for the. I don't know which one of us decided. It was probably me, because I don't think Rocky was even into it. Maybe it was Kelly. I don't know. But we looked at this thing, and we wanted like a real whitewater rafting, not some little kiddie version. We wanted the actual thing. Some of these rapids are like big time. I don't remember. There's like numbers attached to them. I can't remember how it works. But they said we had to sacrifice ourselves to the river gods by jumping off this cliff into the river. We were down below, and he pointed up at the cliff. And I was thinking, that's not that. I mean, I don't really like heights very well, but that's not that far. That doesn't look like. I mean, I feel like I could do that, right? And I get up there. We climb up there. There's a trail up there, and I look down. And I'm like, oh shit. From this point of view, it's not. Oh my God, I was terrified. I mean, I don't like heights, but I had to do it. I just went up there and just jumped off. It was like some kind of like a Mountain Dew commercial. We were just jumping off into the river, and I didn't drown, thankfully. I thought for sure I was going to go down, just sink to the bottom of the river. And just get stuck in the mud up to my waist or something, and that'd be the end of me, But I don't know. I don't like heights, but so that part immediately, I was like pushed outside my comfort zone, but I lived through it. So then we started going down the river, and we had some smaller little rapids, and it was fun. It was good times. But then there would be these great sections of the river where it was just still water, and you had to row. We all had to row for long lengths of time, and I was trying not to bitch like Rocky, but it wasn't very much fun. My arms were buzzing, It's like rowing. Like, what the hell? We paid money for this bullshit, Sucks. They have a motor on this thing. What the hell? Can't you just fire up a motor of some sort? What the hell's going on here? So we were rowing. Rocky's over there just grumbling the whole time. And then we went through some of these ridiculous. I mean, the guy was like, he goes, "This is going to be a big one. This is one of the." He goes, "This is you guys hang on. Front of the raft is going to touch the back of the raft." He kept saying that like it's going to like a clamshell thing. It's going to close up. This is world class rapids. I'm like, oh shit. The thing was like, I mean, it was like, we were going to, I thought somebody's going to get like catapulted out of that thing and just break their neck on the rocks. It'll be like that scene in Deliverance where that guy's arms behind his head, And so that was intense. It was fun though. After it was over, while it was going on, it was kind of terrifying. But after it was over, it was like, hell yeah, this is fun. So it was fun, except for those large pools of water where you had to just row across, And but the rapids were fun, and we did that, and then we got to this area where we camped, right? And we had to go and set up our own tents, I think, or maybe the tents were already set up. It was a camp. I think the tents were probably already set up. Now that I think about it, we did have to do a lot of shit ourselves, but I don't know. But anyway, it was an area that was set aside for this. I mean, they didn't just pick some random spot. It was like an area that they always camped at. And there was nobody out there. The entire time we were gone, we never saw another human being. You can't see the roads. You can't see the highway or anything. You can't hear anything. It's like prehistoric. It felt like we're in prehistoric times. Very cool, very cool. And so we get our camp set up, and those guys got a fire going. The two guys, and of course, me and Rocky started drinking. I think the girls started sipping. Me and Rocky were drinking, and it was fun. They cooked dinner. They cooked everything on the open fire. They even cooked a dessert of some sort. And they had this table set up, like a folding table, had all kinds of food on it and stuff. I mean, it was nice. I mean, these guys were like, good hosts and everything. They had everything set up for us and everything. And I don't remember. I think Rocky had to go use the bathroom or something. He gets up. This is after dark. And he goes off to use the bathroom or something, and he comes back and he stumbles and knocks that table. He knocks the entire table over, has all that food on it and stuff. I mean, we'd already eaten dinner and everything, but there was food and stuff on it. He was half drunk. It was dark, and he's not he's not the most agile person. He comes in there and he's like trips, knocks the table over. Those guys are like super pissed. They're out there trying to I don't know. They had a shtick. They're like telling ghost stories and stuff. It was but so we did that, and then the next morning, so we went to bed in these tents, and the next morning we get up, and I come out of the tent, and one of those guides, there's a box. It's like a wooden box, just sitting out in the open, air. I can't. He's sitting on it. It's like a toilet. It has a toilet, like a toilet seat attached to the top of it. And he's just sitting on the thing, taking a shit out in the middle, just out in the open air, reading a magazine or a book or something. He's sitting over there, his back's all straight, and he's reading a magazine or a book or something, and he's like, top of the morning to you. He's like waving at us. The guy's sitting on the toilet out in the middle of the open air. And I was like, what in the hell is this? Like, what the hell? Can they build this thing? Can they put some walls around this thing? These are the things I remember. And I can't remember. I mean, I can't remember what did the girls use that? I don't think so. I can't remember. I didn't even notice it until that day. I mean, I can't remember. I don't know what we did. I mean, we probably just walked over in the bushes and just took a leak right into the shrubs or whatever, right into the brush. I don't remember the girl. I don't remember what the girls did. They wouldn't have got up on that thing, that ludicrous shitting box out in the middle of the thing. I don't remember. The guy was just sitting there with his back all, almost arched. Top of the morning to you. Beautiful day. Woo! Like, what in the... I mean, these guys are just, it's like unbelievable. So, anyway, and then we got out, we got to the end of the thing. All of us are like exhausted. There's like no sleeping in that thing. I mean, you're sleeping sorta. You're out in the middle of frickin', I can't sleep in that kind of situation, you know? I mean, what the hell? I mean, we get mauled by some kind of like cheetah or something, some kind of mountain lion. They'd never find us. There's nobody around. We're like completely. It's kind of scary. It's like really dark. I mean, they have that fire going, but I don't know. I didn't feel very comfortable about the whole thing. So we didn't have any. We were like by the second day and all that rowing, our arms were like rubber. We were like, I was having like some kind of out of body experience. I was like so tired, and we get out of the river at the New River Gorge Bridge, which is the famous bridge that's one of the most photographed things in West Virginia, and that's where it ended. And then they took us back to our cars, and we departed. Well, Rocky knocked the table over in some kind of drunken stumble. And that guy's shitting on sitting out there on a shitting box in the middle of just out in the just straight out. He didn't even have a bit. He was like, "There you go. How you doing? Top of the morning." So that was quite an experience, but that was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Rocky bitched and complained the entire time. He never stopped bitching the entire time. He bitched afterwards. I said, that was fun, man. So that was an experience. That was an adventure. He goes, that was bullshit. It cost me all that money. I had to carry stuff to the river. I had to like row. He's like, well, that's no vacation. He was complaining the entire time, and the girls were disgusted with us. And by the time we got out of the river, by the time we were at the end of that thing, I felt like I was having like some kind of out of body. I you know how when you get really, really tired and you don't even know what's going on, your body is just moving forward, where your brain is just fogged over, and that's what it was. And I thought it was fun. And I went home and I told my parents. I was going on and on about how fun it was, and they were like, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should go. We're not going to do an overnighter, but maybe we should go whitewater rafting. So I inspired them to do this, right? Because I was talking about how fun it was. And, my dad got blasted got knocked out of the frickin' raft, broke his nose, like the guy in front of him, like in one of those rapids. His head came back real fast, busted my dad in the nose, broke my dad's nose. He went flying into the river, and he came back and he was like, that was one of the worst days of my life, thanks. I'm like, oh man. Everybody, I had fun. I don't know. Nobody else seemed to. I don't know. Anyway, have you been whitewater rafting? That's one of those things. I can't believe I actually did it. But I'm glad I did. It's all about the experiences, right? I try not to be afraid of everything. I grew up in a place, or I grew up. Well, I don't know, not afraid of. It's just kind of like not taking chances. I grew up. My parents are not big on adventure. They're better now than they used to be. They won't even eat like Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even like you know what I'm saying. They're not big on rolling the dice and just going for it. And I grew up that way, and I've tried to get away from it. But it's all about the experiences in life. And I'm glad I did it, but I'd never do it now. I think back on some of that stuff. There's no way I would lose my mind. For one thing, I'd have a full-on coronary probably. Probably wouldn't be in good enough shape to do it. And I'd probably go flying into the river too. But anyway, have you done anything like that? You ever been like zip lining or like any of that stuff, bungee jumping or anything like that? People jump off that New River Gorge Bridge. They bungee jump off that thing. It's insane. That thing's unbelievably high, and no way. I mean, it's called Bridge Day, and they allow people to do that. No way. There's absolutely no way. But anyway, I want to tell you that story. I tried to get Rocky to come on here sometimes. He's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that. I can't get anybody to come on here. None of my friends." They're like, "Nah." I asked a couple of them. They're like, every one of them says no. So I don't know. But anyway, so that's the end of that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to get 2 episodes of this podcast a week instead of a measly one, easy to do. Just head on over to patreon.com. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Jeff Gay. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation, and you'll get an extra episode every week. Not every once in a while, not every month. That's for suckers. Every week. So do that today. Patreon.com/Jeff K. And if you want to call in, tell me if you've ever been whitewater rafting or any of that crap, you ever sacrificed yourself to the river gods, give me a call. 570-290-8151. That's your number. Call it round the clock. Just leave a message and you'll almost certainly be part of a future show. It doesn't have to be about that subject. It can be about anything that's on your mind. 570-290-8151. And surfreportpod.com is the website for the podcast. And that's where you'll find expanded show notes, photographs, links, all that stuff, extra stuff. So surfreportpod.com is the address. And we're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, which will be over on the Patreon side, I hope you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see you. Bye. Yeah, put a strap on. I mean, strap it on.